You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This week's episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, Imaging Services, Chiro Thin, Universal Tractioning Systems, Chiro Moguls, Zingit Solutions, Dr. Peter Goldman's Zone School of Healing, Evers Coaching Systems, Rhino Coaching, Chiro Matchmakers, Bax Max, 5-Star Management, and the Goodman Factor. Let's hustle. Good morning, everybody. I got Dr. Ryan Doyle over there. He is coming in from it's Vancouver, right? Canada?
It's near Vancouver. I'm on Vancouver Island in Victoria, British Columbia.
Okay, so you're right up there near Dr. Ed.
Yeah, I'm in the same city as Dr. Ed. You bet.
Awesome. Well, guys, I'm coming in from Grand Junction, which is in the Grand Valley on the western slope of Colorado, which I like to say it's where no one lives until this past year. And a lot of people have moved here because they realized how awesome this place is. But originally, I moved here to hear the birds chirp and get away from the big city and enjoy the beauty around us. So, just want to welcome you to the show, Dr. Ryan. This is a self-sponsored episode too, so we are going to pump up the volume today and let the thunder fly with Chiro Hustle as the lead sponsor today for the show, and Chiro Hustle Digital Ad Agency is right up there. I'm going to pass the mic over to Dr. Ryan and let him talk a little bit about the first topic today is Man of Iron, and I know you have the ring there, so let's just talk to people. Let's talk to people a little bit about what a Man of Iron is.
That's a wonderful, wonderful question. Try to do my best, Jim, to keep this as succinct as possible. But one of the things that I have had great experience with as on this entrepreneurial journey that many of us lead as business people, as parents, as as we navigate this journey, we get into a hustle. Funny enough that we get, I love your topic. The key part is we try to navigate everything at once. And if we do not navigate and manage them very well within our body, within our being, within our balance and relationships and our business, whichever one becomes a weak link in our life, it has a tendency to become an anchor. Becomes very, very, like, I don't know why, and I'm going to generalize just for a second, but
sure,
us that are driven, Jim, we have a tendency to become the ATM for those around us, and we become unilaterally focused, and sometimes we forget about taking care of ourselves. Even though those of us in the chiropractic industry, we talk all about health, it can become very easy of what's important, and we need our engine to be functioning, so our body. We let go of our relationships that are key to us, which are part of the foundation that we build things upon. We can become very unilaterally focused. Women sometimes are even worse. I just did a post on this the other day where women will martyr themselves for the betterment of everyone around them. And moms, you know this. If there are moms listening to this, you know what I'm talking about, because everybody else is more important than you are. What happens is we go into self-destruct mode, or we go into martyrdom. Men of Iron is really a business coaching program for chiropractors in general. We coach from a place and from a platform of growing and expanding across body, being, balance, and business. So I can teach you all that you want about building your dream practice, etc. But if you're not building those other areas at the exact same time, implode. If your foundation is weak, you can implode. And I have become a master at those things, and that's why I have grown into a role and a leadership role of teaching people how not to do what I've done in the past. It's very easy to go into destruct mode. The Men of Iron is really about giving you tools to rebuild your power and control back into your life, as opposed to just allowing your life to burn around you. That's probably the most succinct way of doing it. And at the same time, we have a unique capacity to be able to assist right now we mainly deal with men of chiropractic. That's who we are. But we have a unique capacity to be able to teach and educate systems from brick and mortar, as well as, and most of you that know Dr. Ed Osborne, he's got a unique capacity. He has a small niche, and he has a wonderful capacity to assist people in building their non-brick and mortar businesses. So it's an amazing platform to be able to help people from. If you have not experienced what I'm talking about, that triangle, that triangle of chaos that hits most of us in business, where you're navigating relationships, you're navigating kids, you're navigating business, and you're all over the place, and something just doesn't feel right. If you haven't experienced that yet, oh, most people will. So you and I were talking, Jim, about the thrive factor, and being able to be you. It is amazing how many people get into business and they're doing it not for them. They're doing it for all of the wrong reasons, and it's really easy to get off pace. So one of the biggest things that I preach is what I call King's Fuel, and it is making sure that you are in integrity with you. And that is why I am so in love with what you do, because you're not a man on a mission. You're a man on fire on a mission, and it is freaking phenomenal. Like that's all that I want to see. The clients that we work with the men that we work with, like I want to see people do well in business. I want to see people do well in their relationships. I want to see people be healthier, because we are to act in integrity from a chiropractic principles. We need to act like that. But more than anything else, I just want to see people lit on fire. That's it. And what's unbelievable and uncanny about what it is that you do is, are you a doctor of chiro, Jim?
Not a doctor of chiropractic.
You are more on fire in the chiropractic industry than most chiropractors that are out there. And why are more of us not? There is my question, Mother.
Yeah, and for me to just kind of fill in the white space on the whiteboard is because it's many factors. Like you said, a good doctor gets caught up with the trappings of what does a doctor have for their life once they become a doctor. Well, they get a brick and mortar, they get married, they have kids, they get a dog, a plant, and a fish. They go on, vacation every 3 months. They have to train their staff the right way. They have to dress the right way. They have to drive the right thing. They have to have the right watch. And before you know it, you lose your identity because you're doing a subordination factor of becoming someone else for what you think is giving you value. And it's really not giving you value. It's just a perception what other people see because of what you've become.
Scripture. Write that down, people. Write that down. It's have to, need to, as opposed to want to.
Yeah.
Huge.
And I think that's what you are allowed to do with your Men of Iron system is you start getting to the core reality for people, and you start allowing people to see where they've busied their lives up and what they've neglected. And you give a chance for people to shed what they've neglected and to make good on it. And I think that's the part with most people is they just don't know how to make good on the stuff that they neglect.
That's it. I mean, in Men of Iron or in the warrior system that we operate out of, it really just comes down to what we call lying. Because ultimately we have stories about what we should do, could do, must do. We have stories that get in our way of getting what we want and what we want. And we end up lying to ourselves about the possibilities that are absolutely out there. We lie to ourselves about what truly means freedom to each of us. The lies are what get in our way. I mean, Garrett J. White will say this. It's his famous line. It's stop lying. Muted out my word there, but you know what I mean. Stop lying to yourself about what it is that you love to do, because the word should, could, would, all these things just get in our way. Yeah, it's just about shedding the layers of the onion to be able to see the path that you truly want to be able to walk. Because yes, it's easy to get stuck in what you think you should be doing. And it becomes what you said. You said it becomes an incarceration. It becomes a jail cell.
Well, I think so many people don't realize that the trappings of their own world are what is an outside perspective. And if we looked at it through the looking glass of our own perspective, we might find better clarity as to what we see as other people think that we should be doing. And then, you start wishy-washy how you run your business. You don't know if you should take insurance or if you should be cash. You start like having these misfires inside of your mind telling you how to run like the thing that generates your family, and then you start going against the grain and you're like, well, you know what, that doesn't work for me, I'm going to do it this way. And then you become a man of principle. And I think that that's what happens when you get clarity. And I think that there's so many people out there that are kind of like teeter-tottering on both sides of the fence, and you know what happens when you straddle the fence.
Yeah, well, I can throw out a couple of expressions for you, my friend. It's a good one. I mean, and sometimes people, literally, Jim, sometimes people need to straddle the fence and get kicked where you're talking about. They actually understand with clarity what it is. And I'm not going to lie. Like, here's the thing, is that sometimes our greatest gift comes from our pain. And have I stepped into that? Oh, you bet. And I think that that's what most of us are trying to avoid, is that times our greatest gift, like you coming into the chiropractic world, there has been a pain that has gotten you to this place. Otherwise you wouldn't have been driven. The reality of it is that most of us don't want to, we want to get to this greener pasture over here, but it almost always lies on the opposite side of or discomfort. We don't want to step into that. We do not want to step into that level of discomfort. That is probably the hardest thing for us to face. And sometimes we need somebody to grab us by the hand or other body parts, pull us in that direction, because you're not willing to go alone. The journey is too hard. We would prefer to stay in lying. We would prefer to stay in stories that we've told ourselves for years and not step that pain. It is so hard.
Hey, I think it's time that I kind of share with the audience that's watching a big truth of mine is I can do more. I don't have enough structure in my life, Dr. Ryan. I know that I need to write emails every week, okay? I know that I need to journal every morning. I don't do that stuff because it's uncomfortable to me to push myself to do more, okay? And I think that that's just something that we all have to come in touch with ourselves, is we know that there's things that we could improve upon, but we have to see the value trade-off. And you know what? Both of my coaches tell me to do it. And it's one of those things that I feel like I have this personal front for myself, saying, you know what, dude, I'm doing enough, okay? And I think that that's a lot of times people let their egos get involved with what they should be doing.
Yep. Yeah. No, you definitely stepped on it right there. You have more capacity, brother, than you know. Sometimes you just got to get out of your own way. But like you said, it was one of the things that I think a lot of us don't want to step into, is that sometimes you actually need somebody to be able to point out from 30,000 feet and point out the things that you're unable to see. I find that any area of my life, whether it's my body, whether it's my fulfillment, whether it's my business, even my relationships, when I don't have somebody pointing out some of the weaknesses that I have, I don't know that I'm able to expand. I know what I know, and I will continue to tell myself stories. You're okay. I mean, this is the thing. I don't consider myself a salesman, but I hate having to sell to people that they can be better than they are right now and that they've got a bigger capacity. That's one of the hardest things for me to see. And if I don't have somebody pulling me or pointing out my weaknesses in those areas, my limit, I will stay exactly where I'm at. And if you're happy with where you're at, awesome. Like, expansion is unnecessary then. But if you want more out of your life, that's the key to it right there, is asking people who have been where you're at, or have tread on the path that you want to go, that are pulling you in that direction. This is why Jim is. That's why I love what you're doing, is you're pulling yourself into an arena that most people are unwilling to step. And on top of that, you're asking people that are at the highest level of their game to be able to assist you in that process. Love it. Love it.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, man, and puts the hair on my arms up. And admission of admiration is something we should all leverage into. I think we should all lean into that more with each other. We should all find things that we like about each other and espouse that to others, because it lifts them up and it allows them to remain on fire even on bad days. And it allows me to stand into the light and mean what I say stronger, because I am making an impact on at least one person because you just told me. And I think that that's an impressive thing when people can step into their own light and they can find something that they, out of the 7 billion people on earth, what makes them unique and awesome is, you know, become the charismatic leader that you know you can become. Become the person out there that can open up doors for people. Become the person that allows others to open the door for you as well. And I think that that's a big part of the reality of why hustle's doing as well as it is. And that's why chiropractic is becoming more mainstream, is because really my vision is so darn big that nobody believes me. And I just keep on knocking doors, man. And that's, you know, that's really why the next topic that we're going to talk about, we're running out of time here. We have about 13 minutes left, but next topic we're going to talk about is digital creation and digital product development, and how the Man of Iron system spun into this inner circle. And now that's like an adjacent, like, you know, planning system that I guess they feed off of each other a little bit, but both were started by Dr. Ed Osborne. And if you guys don't know Dr. Ed, go check him out. He is the chiropractic philanthropist. He started the Man of Iron mission, and he also started the inner circle that I'm a part of in this this mastermind of digital creators. And I think that it's second to none when it comes to that part that you just mentioned, the access. Now I have the access to ask people in that network to say, will you raise your hand for me, please? All I want to do is interview Russell Brunson next.
Unbelievable, the benefit of connection. But I want to go, if I can just touch on something that you just said there, I want to touch on it. Have you ever had a morning where you woken up and you thought, I don't know if I got it in me today? I sense that you probably don't now, but have you ever?
You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This week's episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, Imaging Services, Chiro Thin, Universal Tractioning Systems, Chiro Moguls, Zingit Solutions, Dr. Peter Goldman's Zone School of Healing, Evers Coaching Systems, Rhino Coaching, Chiro Matchmakers, Bax Max, 5-Star Management, and the Goodman Factor. Let's hustle. Had a day where I felt like I couldn't go on.
Yeah, well, no, just like you just didn't have the energy. You didn't think that you were impacting people enough. You didn't think that you were doing enough, and you just didn't think that what you were saying in the morning that you were, when you were starting, have you ever thought, I'm not doing enough, or it's not good enough, or maybe I shouldn't do this? Have you ever thought that?
I mean, I'm just like everybody else. I have my own insecurities when it comes to becoming bigger than myself. I have my own insecurities from where I grew up. You know, I was going to touch on that earlier. I grew up in a pub culture. And for me to grow up in a pub culture from a young man into this person I am today at 40, it's hard for me not to go into that pub culture life and enjoy that lifestyle. But I see what happens with those people is they build a grid system for their life, okay? They go to work, they go home, they go to the pub, they go to 3 other places throughout the week. They go home, they go to work, they go to the pub, they go to 3 other places throughout the week. They limit their scope of expansion because they've limited their scope of motivation. And it's nothing bad on anyone for doing that type of lifestyle, but I guarantee you, you will not thrive to the capacity that you're supposed to hit. And you will not impress others around you by the behaviors that you fall into.
That's exactly it. But I think that what you created is that you stepped into a world through digital marketing and media and the inner circle where if there's just one person that hears what you have to say today that's needed to hear that. Michael Daly just said that you're having an impact on people. Brother, it's just by stepping into that and by increasing the scope of your influence through the groups that are available to us, like Dr. Ed Osborne's Inner Circle and other groups that you're having an influence and impact on, you continue to increase your scope of influence simply because you show up on a daily basis.
Yeah, and I guess I should answer your first question instead of going to pub culture talk, but I think that was relevant to people in general. But I think that there's days that I get up and I'm like, oh boy, I have 5 lives today. Sometimes, like I'm doing 5 lives. Sometimes, it's sometimes I do 10 in a day. Um, you know, there's been times where I'd get to a big event, and I'm being honest that I show up on Thursday night and it starts on Friday, and I just don't want to do it. I'm like doing 10 interviews today doesn't sound like what I want to do today. And I still push forward and I go do it. Okay. And there's times where I get up in the morning and I'm like, okay, what is going on today? And I look at my inbox and I'm like, oh boy. And and I think about, the things that I have to accomplish on a day-to-day basis and the amount of people that I actually have a touch point with, that I actually send a message to, or I respond from a message to somebody, or how, on call I am for so many people with what we're doing. It becomes something to me as, how can I do this and who will support me more? Because obviously I realize that I have become somewhat of a charismatic leader, and I would like to get more support from people that believe in what we do. And just like a chiropractor, they want somebody to understand that they should just come and see them just because it's good for their health. Well, I just want the chiropractors to support me because it's good for your freaking profession.
Well, to say that you're a charismatic leader in our profession is an understatement, my friend. And I don't, if people are unaware of who Jim Chester is, they will soon find out because of the power and the clout that you are bringing to this profession, my friend.
Thank
and
you.
I will say, first and foremost, thank you. We have not had somebody step up that like inside or outside of the day-to-day arena like you in a long time, man. It is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal to watch.
That day that you sent out just a 39-second clip of saying, hey, just want to thank Jim Chester for everything he does. You inspire me type message. Dude, that lit me up. And it showed that there was support coming to me, and it was coming from places I wasn't aware of. So I guess I'm just going to ask for a plug here. If you guys think I've done stuff over the past, 1 year that has helped the chiropractic profession, hashtag hell yes in the comments there. And just let me know where you guys are watching in from. But I want to rate how many hell yeses I get just to know if I am making an impact in this chiropractic profession. And I have a whole suite of services that I do provide to people. And one of those is New Patients in a Box. And here's a plug for that. If you guys want to grow your business, reach out to me. That's what it is business strategy. But we had to figure out how to take the business strategy and put it to a package that people could use. And that's something about the Inner Circle now. So the Inner Circle, we have, 52 people in there that are all digital strategists, most of them doctors that have brick and mortars that are doing this as, if you will, their side hustle. And they're trying to figure out how to leverage themselves to the next level. And they want to start podcasts like Hustle. They want to start podcasts like the Chiropractic Philanthropist. They want to start selling digital products like, New Patients in a Box. They want to, sell different things that, interest them. So when you find your soul genius and you go through your decade in a day and you go through this whole thing, this protege mastermind thing, you start to realize that if you have enough vision and enough strength and enough abilities, like you were chatting with me the other night, bro. And I'm like, hire somebody for 12.5 hours a week.
I think both of us could actually use a little bit of that by the sounds of how and how many basketballs are being twisted at the moment, right? A little piece of organization by someone else would definitely help both of us. You're 100% correct.
So let's wrap a little bit more. We have about 9 more minutes left on our time here. What is the power of the mastermind for you?
I think it's exactly what you just said. There's just no way for you to be able to see everything that you need to see on your own. There's and whether it's the Brotherhood of Men of Iron, whether it's the the inner circle that Ed has put together, Russell Brunson's put together, any of these groups that are put together, you just, the collective knowledge increases your capacity and your ability to influence. And I think that's the nut and the bolt of it. Is, you said it a minute ago. If you have a problem, you have a question, you have a group of people that are elite in what it is that they're doing, trying to grow different aspects of what it is that they do. Each of us has a different genius. Each of us has a different nuts to bring into the nuts and bolts of what it is that we're doing. And it helps to refine and build each other as we grow. The power of what is it, the mastermind is, it's undeniable. Getting together on a regular basis, being able to mastermind online, all these types of things, it's almost unfair to those that don't play at that game. It's probably the easiest way that I can describe it. So I highly encourage people to find the group that is going to pull them towards more of what they want.
Yeah, this Brandy Morgan, I just want to share a quick message from her. She says, I agree, Jim Chester, you're making a difference in so many ways. And then she just made another comment. She's such a supporter of chiropractic. She's actually a CA for Tim Schaub out in Homer, New York. And she says, Jim Chester, you have made a huge impact on my life already, and I've only been following you for a few weeks. I love your passion for spreading the truth about chiropractic care. And, I think that's something that we should all, I really honestly, Dr. Ryan, I wanted to be a placeholder that people would want to eventually copycat. Okay. I eventually wanted to start creating a system where people would find love in supporting the beautiful profession of chiropractic. They just didn't have the time, the determination, and the skill sets to do so. So I felt like it was my job to take the things that I was learning from my multimedia mind. And I said, okay, so we can start doing production stuff and we can start telling the truth. We can go live every day. Last year we did 365 live interviews, bro. Like, are you kidding me? Everybody has the capacity to do more. And that's really why what we're doing is becoming household. Episodes that we release are getting 15,000 views a listen, or 15,000 listens an episode. And, there's Michael Daly's over in Scotland. He's a CA too. This guy's on here on fire for the principle. He's all about making a difference in the world of chiropractic. Brandy, she's all about making a difference in the world of chiropractic. So the voice of the voiceless is now having a voice. And I think that's something we have to really pay attention to, is we do have this momentum shift on. And you know what, guys? I used to be a tech. I worked in an office for almost 6 years. I was just like everybody else. I came up through the ranks and I realized that there was a void. And that's why I felt so much love being in a group like Dr. Ed's Inner Circle, because now I'm like connected. I'm plugged in to these world changers. And now they're finding me and they're like, damn, that guy is on fire. And then I'm saying, all I want is a little help from you guys. I'm over here. And you're like, hell yeah, I'm going to help you. You're getting things done.
Yep. It's game changing, my friend. You're a game changer. And that's why we are here to support you. It's absolutely unbelievable to watch. And like I said, you need to be in Thrive mode. And you are the leader of Thrive right now, brother.
Thank you, man. So let's get into the last topic. We have 5 minutes left. The Stockdale paradox. Let's talk about that. We were chatting the other night when we were talking about, capacity to do more. You were asking me about, who helped me do our PDF on our landing page for our ClickFunnels. I'm like, I'm going to get you set up with that. So that's another thing about masterminding too, is you get access to all the bells and whistles of your mastermind components. Is you get a chance to ask them, hey, how did you do that? Can you help me do that? Can I get that funnel copy? So those are cool things too. But let's talk about the Stockdale paradox and what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's an amazing topic, and in a short window, it can be difficult to discuss. But in a nutshell, this was brought to light by Collins in his book Good to Great. But basically, Stockdale paradox is in the Holocaust, or in periods of extreme depravity, the people that didn't make it were the optimists, the people that said that they would get this place, there would be this place that they would get to. But the people that survived dealt with reality and recognized that there is a place for us to thrive in right here, right now. And thriving sometimes in the midst of chaos, where a lot of us just need to get to. It's unbelievable how many of us waiting for something to occur. They wait for the green pasture. They wait for it. They wait, as opposed to going and figuring out with clarity what it is that makes you thrive right now and enjoying every single hour of the day. And creating it. It really comes down to you creating it. Nobody else is going to do that for you. Nobody else is going to do that for you. You got to get really, really clear on what it is purposefully that drives you, and go and do more of that. You talked about this just offline before we even came in here, is driving more of what it is that serves and provides for us. To be a selfish word, but guess what? Your kids, or kids that we have, they don't want another house. They don't want another boat. They want to see a parent lit on fire. They want to see you go up and light them on fire. That's all that they want, because and the memories are going to be more important than the house that you leave them. That is such a huge piece, and that's what it means to me. That's what it took me a long time, because there was a period of my life where I just fit time in with my kids. That was the thing. I fit time in with my wife. I fit time in for the things that were actually important for me. The Stockdale paradox is like, you're going to make it the best life you can by living it right here, right now, and figuring out how that is that fits you best. That's it. Time to thrive, brother.
You know, those are powerful words that everybody should be taking notes on. If you guys haven't taken notes on this whole interview, I recommend going back and watching the replay. By the way, if you do go back and watch this on a replay, hashtag replay, so we know you watched it on the second time around or third time around. Also, if you found value in this, please hashtag value in the comments there, so we know you got some value out of this. I just want to say thank you to Dr. Ryan for being on with me today. This is a self-sponsored episode of the Chiro Hustle podcast. If you want help with digital ads, Chiro Hustle Digital Ad Agency can rock your socks off. We can drive in new ones for you all day long. And if you guys want to get more information, I have some cool chatbot links up there. You can see our movie for free up there. You can get information on new patients in a box. You can also come over to the podcast. We have a cheat sheet on that podcast website that you can download. You can figure out how to start getting new patients in your office. And like Dr. Ryan said, just do the best with what you have right now and figure out how to get better. And I think that what we were talking about off camera quickly is find meaningful work, find meaningful processes in your life, and those things will set you free. And I think so many times people subordinate to things where they don't know what is meaningful to them, and they subordinate to just earning and just doing, and they fall into that pub culture, or they fall into that lifeless, ordinary scenario where they have all the things that everybody think they should have, but they don't have themselves. And I think that when we get to that stopping point, we all realize that there is more in the tank. We just have to tell ourselves and give ourselves permission to be great. And I think that that's one of the big takeaways all of you guys can find, is just give yourself permission to be great today. And with whatever's thrown at you, be the best version and keep showing up, and then refine that down and decide how you can expand. But with that, all the information that Dr. Ryan and I shared with you today, just love and appreciate you, Dr. Ryan, for supporting what we do. I know you are a man of iron. I know you're in the mastermind with us. So I know that we're all just one story away. We'll all keep hustling. And just want to say thank you to everybody that's been on with us today. Michael Daly coming in from Scotland. Brandy Morgan coming in, so it says value all day long. And it's nice to be appreciated, and it's nice to be in such a great network of people. So Dr. Ryan, I just want you to have a great rest of your day. And thank you for being my guest today.
Thanks, brother. Love you, man.
Yes, love you too. And just keep hustling, man.
Rock on, brother. Very much.
Right. See ya.
Bye for now, man.
Thank you for listening to Chiro Hustle Live. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.